Welcome back, guys. Let's do another tutorial, another connection. So on this episode, we're going to focus on the APEX HAUNCH connection. It's going to be fairly easy because basically we have had a similar connection. That is our Eve's haunch connection. So you'll notice that it's going to be fairly simple and fairly easy, with that familiarity from the previous episode. So let's get down to business. So we're going to go to, okay, before we go to connection vault, I just want to show you another simple trick. For example, you might, try not to be obscured, you might have things that are in the way and you want to get a clear view. So you might be thinking, well, what if I can make these disappear and just focus on one thing, isolate everything? Yes, it is possible. You can hide those. So what you do is you select the elements or the still sections that you want to hide. For example, if I go to left on my view cube and then I select these frames, right? Do I need the grid line? Yes or no? It is up to you. So after you have done that, as you can see, if you orbit, and by orbiting you press shift and the center button of your mouse, it is going to highlight or show and orbit only the objects that you have selected. So from there, you go to Advanced Steel 2 palette, click the drop down arrow, and then come to the second bottom button from the bottom. All right, so from up you go 1, 2. This is the one. So if you say, it says quick views, so this button here that I'm where my cursor is, if you hover or if you put your cursor on top, it says selected objects off. Selected objects off. So if I click it, you will see the selected objects have disappeared. That's how you can isolate your objects. So the second one at the bottom, this one says show only selected objects. So I can do vice versa, right? Let's say I want to bring back the objects that I've hidden. I go back to this button, right, on the tool palette. This button, like a portal frame, right? It says all visible. Click this and it will show all the elements that have been hidden again. So let's do it another way. Let's say I want to just have a view of these, right? So I just want to highlight these that I've selected. So I go to Advanced Tool 2 palette and then say only show selected objects. There we are. So now we've isolated everything else. It is not deleted, it's just been hidden, so that you can have a clear view, not that you're trying to squeeze a view between columns or rafters so that you can isolate it. So that's how you can isolate your things. You can also isolate assembles, or hide assembles, hide selected assembles, all that. I will show you as we go on. So we want to do a APEX connection haunch. So we go to connection vault, right? We go to the fourth button, that is beam end to end. We are connecting beams, so beam end to end. This is where we are. So that is our APEX haunch. So we'll select that and we can minimize that, and we select our beam, first beam, enter, second beam, enter. All right, so this is our connection tab. Let's just zoom in so that we can have a more clear view. Let's just put this there, and all right, I think there is much better. So let's drop down arrow. There's nothing there. I usually prefer just to check what's there. You never know, there might be hidden things in there and you just ignore. Better options for you to edit your connection. So let's go to general, and plate thickness, it is 12. All end plates are 12 mil thick. If you check on our drawing, and if we go to item number 9, all end plates to be a minimum of 12 thick plates. So there we go. All right, so from there, let's go back to our drawing. This is the the apex haunch connection that we're trying to create. So from there, erection tolerance, that's 2 millimeters. That means that the gap between the two rafters is going to be 2 millimeters. That's what we want. End plate to end plate, just leave it like that. End plate length type, we want it as projection, because the length, remember, we are going to add that 6 mil gap for welding at the top and at the bottom, depending on what is your weld thickness. Sometimes your weld thickness can go up to 10, depending on the size of the beams that you have. Mega structures, you can go as 10, 12 weld thickness. So that's one thing that you have to put in mind as a steel detailer, so that you give an allowance for welding. So at the top, right, if we just zoom in there, all right, so okay, right, so from there at the top, if you go -6, there you go, we've got that welding bed there between the top corner of the flange and the plate. We've got 6 millimeters. And then let's check at the bottom as well. All right, so at the bottom, if we add and say -6, there we go. So if you say positive or just 6, it increases beyond the edge of the flange. So we want a -6. It's up to you whether you want it on the outside or on the inside. So I prefer to have it on the negative inside based on the designs that I've done. So from there, end plate width type. Right, the width type, we want it to flush with the ends of the flanges. So we leave it at projection, and if you see, these are the directions. So your projection to the left, it's item number 7, that's 0, so it's flashing. Projection right, which is 8, it should be 0 because it has to flash. Okay, then on this part we are done. Then we go to the second thing to edit, which is haunch 1. So it's saying the length from inner plate of the face, which is basically the length of the haunch. And if you go to our drawing, the length of the haunch is this distance here, which is this measurement rather, which is 988. This is the measurement that we want. So instead of 450, we say 988. Okay, so there we are done. Now we want that distance from the bottom of the rafter to the edge of the haunch. So that dimension is not given. I am using Bluebeam, so you can also take note of that dimension. I'm going to use Bluebeam to get the measurement. All right, so that measurement is 156. 156. That is the measurement that we're going to use. 156. So from there, height from bottom rafter. Okay. Height from web depth. Let's see this. Okay. No. We want from bottom rafter should be 160. 160. 56. Why is it giving us something small? Why? Okay. I know why. Our scaling here is wrong. So we need to calibrate for this drawing first. So let's calibrate for the scale, for this view rather. We need to calibrate for this view. So I need a known measurement there, millimeters. Our scale, that one is 988. Okay, so from there I can now measure. Let's see, just to confirm the measurement, 988. So now that is the measurement. Now, okay, it's up to scale. So that's, I didn't forgive me on that one. I didn't notice that the scale was different. So let's measure again from that point to that point. Okay, so we have 235. Okay, 235. Okay, now it makes sense. So forgive me for not noticing that my my scaling in Bluebeam was not correct. Forgive me for that. Okay, now we are back on track. So if we check the ends of our haunch, here it says corner finish 30. You can put your corner finish at even 10 or even 20. It's up to you. Depends on the design. So I've put mine as 20, and then from there, haunch number 2. So same this one says same section as rafter. That means that as if this is if this box is checked, that means that the properties of the steel properties of the haunch is going to be the same as the rafter. So if you want to change, you have to uncheck this, then you can select your steel section that you want to use. So us is going to be the same as the rafter. That is correct. Haunch number 2, it's exactly the same as haunch number 1. That is fine. Then we go to bolts. Our bolting is M20 bolt. If you check on our drawing, I'm highlighting it there. It says M20 bolts at 80 cross centers. Okay, so bolt diameter, M20 is correct. Bolt type, it's correct. Grade, it's correct. Assemble, it's correct. Distance from previous bolt, it's fine. Then horizontal distance, this is what we want. So the horizontal distance, that is item number 2. That's the distance between the bolts on the other side of the web to the other side of the web, the intermediate distance. And ours, it says 80 cross centers, so we need to change this to 80 cross centers. Then bolt groups. So on the rafter itself, we have got 3 lines. So we need to go to group number 1 and then say 3 lines, and then the start of the group. Okay, the start of the group. Apparently, this one our extension for welding was going above the rafter, not sorry, above the flange, not inside the flange. So we need to just subtract. So we are saying 61 minus 9, that goes to 52. So let's just leave it at 50. It's fine. And then intermediate distance 100. It's fine. Let's leave it there as 100. Is correct. Then group number 2, we've got 2 bolts, and the starting distance is 110. And this is where we have our 110. So let's come and change from 90 to 110. And then the intermediate distance is 100. So it's correct. So let's leave it like that. Then stiffeners, same as what we did on the previous episode when we were doing Eve's haunch. Our stiffener is going to be full 10 thick. Then the second one is going to be full at 10 thick. So that means we've got this stiffener on this rafter and this stiffener on this rafter. So that is the editing for this tab. Then your welding, you can change it here. If I have specialized welding or custom welding, you can change it from this tab, this button though. And then on special, if you have special plates or stiffeners to add, then this is where you can change them. We do not have on our project. So from here, we are done with our APEX connection. We are done with our APEX connection. So what now we need to do is to add this connection to the other frames. So let's close this, and then we go to Advanced Steel to Palette, and then we say Show All. And then from there, we select our connection box, right click, and then Propagate Joint. As you can see, our APEX connection has been added to all three remaining frames. So that is how we do an APEX connection. So on the next episode, we are going to add some more beams. Let's take a look at our general arrangement. We are going to add these cross beams here at this line, and then we are going to add these ones as well. So from the front and the back, they are there as well. So we are going to add all of these, add all of those. Even on the side elevation, they are there as well. So we are going to add those beams. Once we have added those beams, then we can be able to do that connection, and also do this connection again from column to this rafter, because that connection is similar to how we're going to connect this rafter to this column, or rather this column to this rafter. The connection is going to be similar. So we are going to do it at once. We're going to add those beams and then do the connection. All right, guys, have a nice day. Thanks.